But I have an office in Copenhagen, and some years ago I did a building for the Japanese clothes designer Yoichi Yamamoto. I did a small shop for him in Copenhagen, and it was very nice in a way. And I like his clothes very much. It was very simple, very minimalistic also. And at the same time, Ishigami-san, my good friend from Japan, he also made a shop for Yamamoto, but in New York. And I thought maybe I'd just call Ishigami because I think he's a very good architect. And then we started making collaborations and we did some projects together. And in my office we do many different projects in Sweden and in Denmark, and actually we have also started working with an office called UA in Tokyo, and we have won a first prize with UA, and it is going to be our first project in Japan. But one of our projects in the office is called the House of Peace, and it was a competition that we won with Ishigami. It is a big question for the client how to make peace in the world, and it's a very difficult question, of course. And how can architecture help? Because there is so much war going on in the world. And our proposal was a space which has no floor. It is on the water, and water is all around the globe. But in this space, this House of Peace, we can let people in, and by sailing on small boats under this large concrete shell, people will meet in a new way, and having this kind of dialogue might be the first thing to accomplish peace. I mean, without the people meeting, there is definitely no peace. So the main concept is that you go down under the ground, you walk under the water, and then you enter up into a huge concrete shell shaped like a cloud. Under this cloud, you will be sailing around in boats and meeting people. And I think the acoustics and the light reflections on the water will hopefully be very, very beautiful. And in that way, we hope that this will be a landmark for peace. It was done with the engineers called Junsato and Rambøll and Ishigami-san, of course. And right now we can see some drawings of it, and we can see some plans and sections. And the project is still in progress, and it hasn't been built yet. So this project is actually also in progress because it's like, for years it has been a debate in Denmark that how to live in a less traditional way. Maybe to live more like meeting your neighbors in a new way and meeting different generations. So we wanted to make a whole new concept of how to live together. So the buildings that we are looking at are actually like water lilies. They are conceived as water lilies on the water, and inside the structure you would have like new homes, which is homes that you meet your parents, your grandparents, and your children and your grandchildren in a new way. So it's not like you have your home and then you meet in the street, but maybe you share your living room with the other generations. And that means that the water lilies have like an organic home structure inside, and it's going to be floating on the water in Copenhagen. This is also a project which is supported by the Danish Arts Foundation, and it's a way of developing new architectural ideas instead of just making traditional buildings like we have seen it over the years. And it's made not just by us as architects, but we actually invited a lot of people, like debating, people who are not architects but are maybe philosophers and artists, and some of them are also politicians, in order to find out how can we actually make it happen, how can we develop new kinds of ways of living. And that is why these water lilies, they are sort of conceived as small communities floating on the water. So this project is actually like, it is a little bit like a church, but it is not for one religion, it is for all religions. They have to meet in one space, and we thought it was very important to have a space for different religions to be sharing instead of fighting religion. And it's also for people who have no religion. You can come to this space, and it is only designed as a general space, so it's only shaped by light and reflections, and inside you can divide it into different smaller spaces because you have water curtains. So you have not traditional walls, but you have more like water coming down and dividing the space. And it has not any dimension like pointing at Mecca or something like that. It's just a round general space, and it's only about light and letting people meet in another way. And this project is a little bit south of Copenhagen, and it is called the House of Art. And it was a competition, and we have just won the first prize, so now we are about detailing it also. And it is conceived as a large space where you have like a low part meeting other low buildings in the area, and then the roof gently rises up to meet a context which is larger and taller over here. And it will be hosting different kinds of teaching in art forms. And instead of having traditional painting in one way and ceramics in another way, we decided to mix it. And if I raise then you can see that actually this building has no walls. So like when we did the whole project with the Ishigami, we had no floor, but this project has no walls. It has only furniture, and they will be able to move around and change the space. So when you enter the space in this House of Art, you wouldn't know what to expect. It will be different all the time, and whether you have cafe or art or exhibition or painting or whatever, it will change all the time. So these furniture, they will change the space, and sometimes they might be moved into the facade and be taken away. So it's like one giant space and always flexible, and then you have a roof form here where you have a skylight in the corner where you have a nice special light, which is maybe just slightly punctuating the big space.